It's difficult to find out whether RSS make headlines or they comment on something which is already making headlines. Whatever the case may be, when RSS comments on anything, it gets significant coverage from all corners. Why am I talking about RSS now? Because it made headlines again. The recent interview of RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat with its publications Organizer and Panchajanya is causing tremors. The comments made by the RSS chief on Muslims in the interview received significant attention. But there is another aspect that Mohan Bhagwat has highlighted. It was about the LGBTQ community. Why did he say that now? Is there any plan behind it? What kind of ramifications it will have going forward? Let's cover all these issues one by one in this video. Namaste and welcome to Nationalist Hub. I'm Dheeraj Simha. Let's start with what RSS chief said about LGBTQ community. There has been a debate about them for a long time now. Where do they belong and how the society has to treat them? There are so many issues that are being discussed related to this community. Mohan Bhagwat has given answers to all these questions in just one interview. When asked about LGBTQ, he simply said, "These kind of people have been existing for a long time and they have equal rights and participation like others in society." He said Bharat never made any noise about them because they were part of the society. He elaborated saying the community was even mentioned in Hindu scriptures. He took examples of two Jarasandha generals named Hansa and Dimbaka. He said, quote, "Krishna spread a rumor that Dimbaka had died. Listening to this, Hans committed suicide." Unquote. He also said transgenders have their own Akhada and a Mahamandaleshwar. Bhagwat was referring to Kinnar Akhada, which was formed in 2015. They participated in Prayagraj Kumbh for the first time in 2019. This is not the first time RSS came out in support of the LGBTQ community. Bhagwat in 2019 too came out in support of the LGBTQ community. Well, there may be few people who may say RSS changed its stand. For those who say that, it is a proof that RSS is pragmatic and makes moves as per the situation. But why is RSS raising this debate now? After Mohan Bhagwat made these comments, several media houses, publications and influencers started to write about LGBTQ community. Maybe this is what RSS exactly wants. Several leftists, communists and Islamists always peddle a narrative that RSS is a regressive, fascist organization. With this statement, RSS has thrown the ball into their court. Can communists come out and support LGBTQ community like RSS? Can Islamists or the church support RSS statements? The simple answer is never. Because they all believe homosexuality is a crime. Take communists for example. Many think communists support LGBTQ community because they participate in pride rallies. But the reality is, their stand is different from what they project. They participate because, frankly speaking, communists have nothing to do. Except for Kerala, they are nowhere in the country. But they have a strong academic influence. They are bringing in woke culture in the disguise of supporting LGBTQ community. They are attempting to decimate the Hindu culture with wokeism. This marginalized community is just a tool. I have proof because communists idolize Joseph Stalin, Fidel Castro and Che Guevara and few more leaders. This is an open truth. None of these leaders had positive opinions of LGBTQ community. Che Guevara called gay men sexual perverts. Fidel Castro disapproved of homosexuality. Joseph Stalin during his rule criminalized homosexuality. China is no different. This proves communists are not pro-LGBTQ. So their stand in India is not to support this community but to target BJP and attack Hindu culture. As for Christianity, the Vatican has always been anti-LGBT. When asked whether the Vatican support the same-sex marriage, the answer was a big no. Many Western governments which preach liberal values to other nations do not support the LGBT community. In 2022, nearly 240 bills were introduced by American lawmakers that would suppress their rights. There are many lawmakers and governments who are anti-LGBT because the church doesn't approve it. As for Islam, there is nothing to talk about it. There is no place for LGBT community in Islam. No Islamic nation has a pro-LGBT stand. Then there is the father of Abrahamic religions, Judaism. Similar to these religions, Judaism too doesn't view LGBTQ community in a positive light. We all know the recent government formed in the Israel is the most pro-right the country has ever seen. Ever since the coalition news broke out, LGBT people have been expressing concern. As the coalition minister said, doctors could refuse to treat LGBT patients on religious grounds. This has sparked a big debate in the country. This is one of the reasons why the community has stepped out for protests to oppose the new government's law reforms. We have talked about Abrahamic religions. Now let's talk about BJP. Many view BJP as a regressive and a Hindutva party. But what is the stand of this party on LGBTQ? Well, simple. BJP stalwart late Arun Jaitley played a pivotal role in softening the government's stand on LGBT community. It was during BJP reign that homosexuality was decriminalized. It was actually criminalized during British colonial rule. This proves that Hindu culture has treated LGBTQ community as part of its own. Proving this, UP CM Yogi Adityanath has launched several initiatives for this community. The Hindu monk has been at the forefront in bringing this marginalized community into the mainstream. His government is providing jobs for them in various sectors. A metro station in Noida has only transgender employees. He even painted the railway station in pride color, honoring them. A scheme called Garima Gruha is being introduced by the Yogi government. This scheme will help provide education and skill training to the transgender community. The point here is that Abrahamic religions have binary views, whereas Sanatana Dharma doesn't have anything like that. It's because of this reason the West opposes LGBTQ, while Sanatana Dharma doesn't. Now the final question is, why did RSS spark this issue now? Well, it is difficult to be so sure, but the courts may have a role in this. We know that courts nowadays are going beyond their limits, and now they have agreed to hear a petition to legalize same-sex marriages. Though there is a debate about whether it comes under court's jurisdiction or not. But before the court could say anything, Mohan Bhagwat came out in support of the community. This may show any impact on the government if it takes up this issue. By making pro-LGBT comments, Mohan Bhagwat has put Christians and Muslims in an inconvenient spot. It is evident that they will not approve same-sex marriage. This will expose the hypocrisy of Abrahamic religions. At the same time, RSS comments will bust the propaganda that Sanatana Dharma is regressive. What Mohan Bhagwat did is, he shot two birds with one bullet.
Please subscribe to Nationalist Hub English channel for more interesting videos, and don't forget to like and share this video. Nationalist Hub, it's a news revolution.